Basil Smikle and Michael Steele nailed it. First of all, Basil made an interesting point. There was once a big march in DC, the Million Man March. The Million Man March that was not only much bigger, was not only huge, they cleaned up behind themselves. And then come these insurrectionists from all over the country, those supporters, unruly supporters of Donald Trump. They come and they mess the Capitol up. They break into the Capitol, destroy property, throw feces and God knows what all over the place, just like a whole bunch of hoodlums. And now we have the Speaker of the House who is releasing the tapes. We got to remember, these were guys who once said that the people who actually invade the Capitol were Antifa and Black Lives Matter. In other words, your eyes was deceiving you. Your eyes were deceiving you. But now that they're going to release all these tapes so that you can make your mind up whether it's an insurrection or not, they want to blur out all the faces of the people as if the Department of Justice doesn't have the original tapes. But for the audience, because you know how they try to they try to convince the audience of things that are not, so that the audience would act like unruly criminals and put some fear into, let's say, the Justice Department, etc., if they would let them. Let's be clear here. No protection for these guys. The Speaker of the House is not only a hypocrite, he's actually someone who is supporting yet another insurrection. Let's listen to what Michael Steele had to say, as well as Basil Smikle, and then we'll take it on the other.
I was one of a million black men on the Mall in 1995 in the Million Man March. Not one of us stormed the Capitol. In fact, we cleaned up after ourselves. If any one of us had ever done anything coming close to what those insurrectionists have done, I would not be here on this at this desk with you today. But the fact that you have individuals who are supporting Donald Trump, who have like-minded support, and colleagues in Congress that are keen on protecting them. It doesn't really speak to what happens if Donald Trump becomes president. It really speaks to who we are as a country today, whether he's president or not. That this is something that members of Congress are willing to do to protect folks who are trying to overthrow the government.
And yet, Michael Steele, this will be the first presidential election since January 6th. We always return to this question of saliency, right? Will it motivate voters? We know that this exists as sort of a Rorschach test for where you are politically. If you are Democrats, how do you keep what happened on January 6th in the foreground? Do you want to?
Yeah, you do. I think it's pressing. I get the economy is so important. I know that what's happening globally is so important. But this goes to the heart of who we are as citizens, as Americans, as a country. When we have to Basil's excellent points, this isn't we're past the one man thing. This is what people are doing on their own initiative to protect the man, right? To protect the corruption of the process. And that's on us. That's on us because guess what, folks? You elect them. You elect them. We have a say in that process, and we have the tools and the keys to fix it. And I think more broadly, when you're looking at, the idea of, that clip you played with the congressman, he talks about these people are innocent. Innocent of what? They breached the Capitol by force. There's nothing innocent about that. What are they innocent of? You want to blur their faces? But wait a minute. You told us for how long that there was Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Why would you want to blur their faces? Are you protecting Black Lives Matter and Antifa now because you spent the last few years haranguing the hell out of them for the least little thing? And so to Basil's point, if anyone else did what those individuals did on January 6th, that congressman would not be defending them. He would not say they're innocent when they breached the Capitol in the space he was just sitting in doing that interview. He would be going after them. He would not be looking at this as anything other than what it was, sedition, insurrection. So we've got to be honest about this conversation. And when we hear this stuff, from individuals who want to protect the thing that is corrupting us from within, you either accept that, remain silent, or you speak out against it.
So yes, folks, it is important that you listen to what Michael Steele said as well. Something that he added there. Remember, there are people who voted these politicians into office. They voted them into office and they're doing these things. Ultimately, that responsibility goes to those who voted them in. It is imperative that they do the right thing, else the farce continues.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.